다 맞아 동보 네 처음에 갔더니 다 sembalele cerwa semba ni shiroto yiwa sula so shichine ane noto ku ni sembalele zona ane karsikre ngazo chichi dole karzo waina ane yabu kota ya pendo yores
so since it makes a huge a difference to whatever activity we take, like in here we are here to discuss about spirituality, about the meditations. So if you have the like a very relaxed state of mind, so it can be more more effective. Whatever we do can be more effective, more protective. So therefore, just to bring about this the rest, rest or this the relaxation of our mind. So we should trying to get rid of all the all the like disturbing thoughts, any distraction or any agitated mind that you have. Just let go all the thoughts and let the mind resting, completely, fully within ourselves.
맞아 고하지 녀도자 대요 인다 고라 네 건지 얘기 저다 소소 논지 건지 저디 잘 미바카를 미기에나 아니 텔라미네 검체 아니 건지 맹에 니다 대치 동래 동보 같은데이나 아니 대치 위중을라 위야만도 못텔라 미네 텔라 세치도 미네 셈바실로 치네 많이 와지 세 자샤 자동 바팅 걸 봐줘네 아니 이 안으로 못텔라 미타나 미네 야보여레스.
So in order to put our mind into rest, so we need to have an object to direct the focus, or place the focus of our mind on, and so usually, so it's if we use an object that is very familiar, which you are very easy to remember, with something which is very which you are familiar and easy to focus. So so such object is then recommended to place the focus of our mind, and but otherwise, if we don't think of any specific objects, then especially if we are as a beginner, practitioners, meditation practitioners, then the breathing, of like inhaling and exhaling of our breath is highly recommended to use. So this is what in this session. So we will use the incoming and outgoing breath as an object, and after we are getting rid of all the distracting, outer distractions, then we just as the mind, comes inward, comes inside us, then we, the rest we direct the attention of the mind on this, the incoming and outgoing breath, and as much as possible to just trying to keep the mind there, and to preventing any other objects for mind to wander off.
Ani winjungala minget sogani winjungala mineta tanigo winjunga te tenona ni shotona tri cheganduna ani winjunga konol tungana te ya tunga te jawaina ani ya te sel te tsi winjungala miato pento yores.
And it will also you find it very helpful in order to retain your mental focus on the breath. Then to just trying to mentally, as you breathe in and the breathe out, that's like a one round of breathings, and so you mentally count this round of breathings. You just breathe in and out, and you mentally say that's one, and then continue. With the mind focus on the breathing in and out. Then you count next, and so on. So this find it very useful technique to retain the mind on the breathings. And so we begin this breathing meditation together.
Yeah,
thank you.
당가서 딩해라. 데려왔다. 진소대 시도 단전이에 가고 있다들이. 아니 이나다 딩해를 가르쳐야잖아. 아니 단조 미주와도 단조 된체 와서네. 아니 되셔야요래. 아니 다 도드나다 단조 미주에 가들 가르쳐야잖아. 아니 다 맞췄지 생제 돈제 대wan 대파도 영어만 대파 진술이 돼요래. 아니 드니근 대지가 대화될라요. 신디가 대화다. 아니 세심이가 대화다. 아니 땡도 대화다. 다와도 도지집이 대화. 아니 드니가 대화 때 드발라 아니 당가서 다와제 돈조와 쳇송되기 리데데 든디 대화 들어봐라 아니 다 제 퍼스 주대요래스 어때시고요래스
So we'll continue this the teaching. On the now we continue with the how to finding this such a human life is very difficult. It's very rare. And so now before this, we finish, the talk about about the human, why human life is so like a specials, it's offer us a great opportunities, and so therefore there's a great the purpose we can accomplish a great purpose or the meanings, by depending on this human life, so human potentials. So now in the teaching, so there's this the teaching, shows you first to recognizing the this special or the unique human life, and this is presented in terms of this, like 8 leisure and the 10 endowments all together. There's 18 qualities, 18 attributes, special attributes. When we have, we found out we are born as a human, and when we have, as a human beings, when our life is qualified with all those 18 attributes, then this that is called as recognizing. We are recognizing this unique, this special human life. Now, the uniqueness and the specialty of this human life is in terms of its potential. The potential this special life offer for us to achieve what we want to achieve. So now, if we think of what we want to achieve, or not only us, or in this matter, all sentient beings, all living creatures, living beings, they all want to achieve happiness. They want to find happiness, and they want to avoid, or they do not want sufferings. And then, we think of if the happiness is something that everyone is seeking, and I am seeking, then what is that happiness? And then we can have this, we can think of happiness in terms of like immediate needs of our life, like in this current life. There are certain experiences that which brings us pleasure, which brings us satisfaction. So that's a kind of the whether that be a material wealth and so on, but that is some form of some level of happiness, but it's only a temporary happiness. And then, if we think further, then what about our in future, when we live, when we die, and when we go to next life, then also we can also think of some sort of future happiness, and how we can, what kind of what causes, what we can do to find that future happiness in our future life, and then furthermore, so that even that future life happiness can be also, is only a temporary, it's really a very short terms, and not a lastings. And then furthermore, then we can think of more happiness on the more in the form of achieving state of liberations. So that is which is when we reach to that state, where we free ourselves from this worldly existence of sufferings, then we have achieved the supreme happiness, like the everlasting happiness. So therefore, when we talk about this, recognizing this special human life, so we have to think of, we have to recognize that when we have found this life, if we have found this human life, then which we have, the characterized by all these 18 attributes. When we have all those 18 attributes, then this life, becomes a perfect life, which become a very conducive, all the favorable conditions are all there in order for us to achieve all those different levels, whether the temporary or the long term or the ultimate level of happiness.
소소라다 나분다고 짜침 잘라지 예외나 빼나 아니 될 짜침 모임 뭐 하고와데 개치 모임 뭐 되진다 아니 다 같이 리텔라요 든지 대화 드트 비고 아니 특제 부서 주버 드트 예바 특제 부서 주바 예바데 아니 다 소소가 니즈한다 야데 네 개치 모시고 그래서는 대수는 거래서 So if I use like examples, how if we possess some very valuable objects, material objects, and then if we recognize the value of that, we have clear recognition of that value, and then we will really cherish that objects. And we will safeguard, and not only that, we will think of, how to make use of that object to benefit ourselves. So in the same way, so here what we find here is we have to see the value, the meaning of this very special life that we have found, this body. Human body that we have found, and so when we recognize it, then we can be more. We will think of utilizing this this life to make this life meaningful. That ne tanjo de ne. 아니 다 대체화래서 대체화 이제 가르세나 아니 다 뭐지 토자 타투 세난다 뭐지 대화 타투 수지치 공부대야 아니 리텐디 같더니 세지녀 더가로라 아니 저더래서 대인사니 대체위 가투일다 도드나 아니 뭐지 리텐디 되네나 아니 저 수지치 공부 전화요 저더요래서 어때시요래서
and furthermore, it is said that the ultimate, the spiritual goal that we can achieve is called as a complete enlightenment, or the state of Buddhahood, and so therefore that is the highest. Spiritual goal, and that is, we can also say that is the highest, the happiness, state of bliss that we can achieve, which is the complete enlightenment, and so now this life of human, unique life of. Human life of leisure and endowments. So it is said that even it has the potentials, it has the capacity to achieve that the ultimate spiritual goal of complete enlightenment. It is said that even in one single single lifetimes.
Penani, Yeshe, Bilobe, and Yambota, Gambulaja, Lasobe, Pendata Nochi, Pendata, Nipel, Kishebeni, Lamatsongabala Supego, and it Tanyo Jiji, the Bilin, the Taru ready or Esra, and it dig Tinene, Suzuki Nochi Pichine, and it, and it kept out the Trawatini thousands of the race. Lich Paristarwa.
All those are great, ancient like masters, masters, meditators who accomplish a very high spiritual goal and such a liberation or complete enlightenment. Such as masters such as great Lama Tsongkhapas and all those great early masters. So they were able to achieve this such a this spiritual goal by depending on and by utilizing that this human life, unique human life that they have found, and so therefore we should also be be inspired that it, just as those early masters, we also do have obtain the same form of life, and so therefore there's such a same. We also have the same opportunity and the potentials.
Tatari nga zut nimi tanjo nye kawa di katine se deyo res. Tenza, ta ya nga zut di tandi ka tanjo te nga zut neka tanda dende ye na yo. Ni tandi ka tsendela ni chi ya poji drata ma san. Ni ta shewa shima tso la ni tandi ka ta tanjo todi zala ni zhigi yi tani somba shewa ina. O ta tandi ka ni shewa shima ni yung ta tandi ka tanjo te hale zigi nye kawa res ne. So, so what follows, is a next topic, which is thinking on the rarity of human life. That is, find the difficulty of finding the same life again. So this is important because to even though we having recognized this the life that we have found is really very special and is offer a lot of has a great the opportunity, has a great potentials, but then we may think we may slack into thinking that maybe I will do it a bit later, make use of this life, this opportunity a little bit later, and maybe even we can say that we may find same opportunity in the future life, and so, but then it is saying that such the thinking also is saying that it is wrong, is deluded, and so therefore because to the finding the same life again is extremely difficult. Ta tandi chi ta ni ta tandi ge nye kawa yin bi tinse kare resena ani sita ni po kare na ya ani jijela tenen ju ko yo resrwa ani jijela tenen ju go za ni po te za ka se chewa zang ji ani ti ge jete 대장지 그는 저 카요레스 대인자다 니보다 자치아 임바데 아주 공시에서 그래서 미길이데 제장아 대자 가세 치워 줘지 디제데 대 터져지 저 터져지 제데 니저 카요레스.
So now we have to think on the there are great many reasons to show that why finding the life again is very rare, is extremely difficult, and so this we can also understand in a generally in the general context, like how more that whatever the object that we have is very precious, is of like the high value. That also implies that the causes for that object, which the result to which produce that object, then it's also become very not easy ones. It's very difficult to gather those causes. So therefore, from this, from the point of view of this, the thinking on the causes, the materials that produce this human life, human rebirth. When we can also understand the rarity of finding the human life loss.
아니 ngazo 중간 라온 거네요. 아니 신들이 가버려 돼서 중간에 집어내나 간신하다 ngazo 시차비 그들 시그거 시사는 시와지 랭고 맨로고요 말해서와 맨거노고 시와이 랭고 시와 렌자테 아니 로아 루트 단 로아 루트 마시나요 같은 좀벌리라 아니 미다 senje니가 아니 중간에 찌자와이나 아니 미데 바제 자샤고와이나 자샤지니 사지 든지지가 종문이지가 개자리서와 네 든지나보다 자샤지니 다가서 말이 채소처럼 맞다 든지라고 얘기하지 말이 성됐어 아니 디 논래다 미그 논래라요 아니 딩할 시자가 단조 조제 댕이데 아니 다 가세 얘기메데 다 미그 논래 자샤뼈가이나 다 자자니 써마도 내가 말아왔어
So from the point of view of the difficulty of or the rarity of creating the causes of this human rebirth, then we can infer, we can understand that the human life is extremely difficult to find. The life that which one have found now. So in fact, is a very finding same life is extremely difficult. And then there's also another. If you think in terms of the numbers, in terms of the number, then again we can also understand that the rarity of human life. Like if you think of the in the world, like if you compare the number of the human being and the number of the animal world, animal life, or and the other species, then all other species, then I don't know in terms of the percentage, but we will human percentage even may not be even a 1%. And then you think of in that 1% of all the human beings. Then if you think of how many of those all the human beings who have who possess these 18 attributes, 18 qualities of the 8 leisure and 10 endowments. Then again, a very, very few who possess that, and you can work it out in terms of what percentage is. So, but whatever it is, it will be very, very, very small percent of the human population who is qualified with the 18 attributes of human. Precious human life.
아니다 맞아 신의 신로와티제 맨 로고요 말때 네 시와 심마에 바테니 줄이 문체와 캔랭 거였어와 네 대요 네지 머시네 머시자잘 멀시노와도 네 세제 다 떠놀라 소파시네 떠놀 시와 드니 자원에 캔랭 말했어와 소소소가 소비가 진텔라 아니 다 레가노라 때네 and take Jason, and she what the language or mato. And Shinrozal Mashiato, the Shinrozal, the Noshia, the Nig, killing your mothers.
So the number of the precious human life in this current time, so we can see is how small is that number. And then also if we think of the our future life, like that is to when we live this life, then what happens? So and then the we say that then we will take the another life, another form of life, and so this is something the idea of this the rebirth or the reincarnation. So it is something we find in the commonly held by the all the major religions all say that, and then there's also there's an idea that how when human died they will either come back as a human, or if you're an animal now then you will always come back as an animal. Some may say things like that, and that's not the illogical. Such the idea is illogical, and because what form of the life rebirth we will have, is depends on is determined by the karma, the law of the karma. That's in fact the cause and effect, the law of causalities. So which means, according to which, so if the cause or the karma, if it's something like a positive, and then we find a good rebirth, whereas the negative and the unwholesome karma will result the bad rebirth.
Ani tindi chitane shewa ngaji yeba tenyong, ta ngaji suje gi sungba resi, di wul pendo tar ji sungba resi ji. Tindi ge tezong ji mare serwa. Ngaso ripa do ni jinse mongbo la tene ni shewa nga mo te zhe yo res, shewa ngaji yewa te zhe yo res.
And so now here, when we think of this, after death, then this idea of this the existence of the future life, the concept of future life. So it's not something which we don't have to accept because it is proposed by some great scholar of the past, and but there is we can if we applied our logic, our reasoning mind, and then we can establish that concept of the existence of the like future life, past and the future life, ourself, the based on our own the logics and the reason.
대원din 다 리파를 시동 리파 문복 저거요 되나 리파 조원하지 니세제 마치 셰와이나 아니 니다 셰와 하마에 되니 시 전반도 왔어. 와. 시네 뭐뭐지거니 소소소 그 셰와 하마 전된게들. 대우 뭐지니 많이 봐. 네 뭐뭐 전된게들. 아니 대우페 다 뒤손에는 대모 못 된다 왔어. 와 소소소. 대인사네 시황가마에데 네 시선이 전된게 뭐뭐도 왔으네. 네 디그스 바티게 디고 그래서.
겨우가 맞청해서로. So, for example, there's the reason we can, which can prove rather the existence of our former, previous life. Previous life is that there's there are people who, who can recall, remember their past life. And in fact, there are we also find many such stories of the people, remembering their past life. Find in many books which are available to us.
Nipatela ni tan ngaso nopsi jores. Pamale to mushiwa tse noshite nipo kondo koina soso rint bijili sheko resrwa. Rint bijili sheko ensa ngatsi noshi rint jete ni tseche go yores. Te pam pawal di amal di rwa. Ta te mewaina ani shiwa ngamal matun roksa jawsa yomares. Te insa ni
and then another the important reasons which we have to consider is in terms of the causes, the substantial, the main cause for our the mind or our consciousness, which we all possess, and so. So just as, when we look at the causes of, of any other object, any objects, so we can see there is a there must be a consistent relation between the cause and the effect. Means that there must be some connections, like the suitable connections between the cause and effect. So the effect, the result comes from the cause which has some similarities, which some way it accord with the cause. So therefore, if we now apply that general knowledge of the idea of the cause and effect, and then if we apply that to the causes of the main cause of our mind or the consciousness, and then if we keep if you trace the causes of our current mind, then we can trace as far as to at the time of our conception, in the mother's womb, and so. At that point, then we have to think of we can consider whether it does it come from one of our both or one of our parents. So if we consider that and think about that, if we come to conclude that if it doesn't come from that, then this shows that then it has its own previous moment, previous continuums, and that is what we call as the proof of the past life.
That inza ni to so tanda ga sari gi shipatela so rin to bi jele jung se rin tangite ni sari jilin jung ko shipa no shi jilin jung ko resro inza no shi jilin jung ko inza ta te shawang ha mi no shi te jela de mi kuzo ji jo ko resro kuzo ji mena ni shipa yu de yo marwas te inza ne shawang ma ne ni no shi te ji ko ni kuzo ji don ko resro.
So the consciousness or the mind, must comes from the cause which accords with, which is similar to the consciousness itself, and so therefore from this perspective, then the perspective of this that consciousness must come from the the similar cause, cause which is similar to the consciousness, then when you think of that, then it has to be it has to come from its previous moment, or from another consciousness, comes from that. Can't be the result. Consciousness can't be produced from like something like a matter or a materials. So it has to be consciousness, previous moment of the consciousness, and so in this way we can the kind of the reasons or the logic of the cause and effect we can get some idea of this, the existence of our past life. And because if there's a previous moment of the consciousness, and then there should be someone who possesses that, that consciousness, a being who possesses that consciousness. So therefore, that is yourself. So this shows that we had we come from our former life.
Wana ani tanjiga ta nipa to dendenge ani tache chu denge danjo chi to ye na tela chi nyole kan des she ko res ne o ta ti u tne mala chi nyole she se she ga do she ga yor ta dewa ta ti dewa ina da ne ka dewa ina ti dewa te kan des do ko res ti de tan te ma she ko res
so now after this the topic on the rarity of human life, that's the difficulty of finding, after thinking on this, or reflecting on the difficulty of finding this unique human life again, and then as an outcome of such meditation, then one would have a strong there is some urge, strong desire to make the best out of this life, make them extract the meaning of this life, and so therefore what we find the next topic, the next teaching is the topic is then goes on as we think of the meaning, then or the purpose, the best purpose of this is that we can, best way that we can make use of this human life is the engaging in the or engaging ourselves in the dharma or the spiritual practice. So therefore next then this text shows us. So if that's the case, then what kind of spiritual practice or the dharma that we should integrate or we should follow the laws.
Ta tela ani sache sanda nimbo chitalen bitsa tela sache sanda uchi ni shewu chunga do tomo yin la lo jongwa singi ta ni nrin do tomo yin la lo jongwa singi to shewu chimbi lo la chirumba lo jongwa sine ani rimba sanda uchi she res.
So, in terms of these outlines of this, the Dharma or the spiritual practice, which to follow, and then there are three main headings. So the first is the training the mind in the stages of the path shared by the person of small scope, and then the training the mind in the stages of the path shared by the person of middling scope, like a middle scope, and then the training the mind in the stages of the person of a great scope.
Ta tombo tela ni shewu chunga de tomo lo jongwa se ore. Tani ta toma ni shewu chungi ge samba singite kande jil se ge yor se na. ane shehu chungi somba sengete ta tandrodo ta ngesongwa ta nene shesona ne tandrodo ne ngesong ji shesona ne denil dunga chimbo shehu jinduis tele ne lado meigo kombola ane shejona ne tele dunga chunwa duisone ane lado meigo kombola topic sheta lojo denge jorwa deniga 다 lado meigo kombola topic sheta lojo denge tsola ta shehu chungosne shigores dije sombatela shehu chungi sombasne.
So in this, outlines, so we find the three types of types of spiritual like followers or the practitioners or the spiritual persons. So the first one is called as a person of small scope. Is the one who have the person with small scopes. So is the one who whose main goal for following the path, the spiritual path, is to achieve a good is find a good rebirth or the higher rebirth, and because the person recognize that to be born, to be fall into the lower rebirth or bad migrations. So is the one will be subject to intense sufferings, and so therefore because one cannot bear to undergo such suffering in the lower rebirth, and so there's out of this fear of being fall into or being born into lower rebirth. So therefore the person see that the way to the way is to find a good rebirth, that is a higher rebirth. So therefore we call that the one who a person whose main goal is to find the good rebirth or higher rebirth is called as the person of small scope.
다 되네 네 시원 제도 도모요 로중하시 시원 리그 sombatel 가르치고 있으나 시원 리그 somba티가 네 당기텔에 대체 좋아하시 아니 하도 당 예손 둥아에 봐마세 네 하도 메이 공부터나요 아니 몰라네 시간안 지라서 비고 둥아다 아니 라라네 지대 보비고 둥아라서 비고 둥아 몸보신 됐어 대인사다 저 둥아테 친에 명화서 비고 네 둥아 짜와네 명화지 네 조타야거니 타와세 디고 네 토파가 레라타 젠댕이 지고 구조텔라 시온 리인스 아니 디지제 디 sombatela 시온리 som바스로와 와드니 시고요레스.
And then the next person was the person of middling scope. So which who in compare with the small scope, then who who seek a bit higher goal, and the higher scope, mental scopes, seek a higher goals, and because this person see that the not only there is a sufferings, suffering in the in the lower realms, but even in the higher realms, like whether you are born as a human beings, then they see that how human are subject to the sufferings, the inevitable sufferings of like birth, death, aging, and death, and furthermore they also see, even if they are born in the as a godly being or as a celestial being in the the God realms, they see that they are not free. There is a suffering. They are also subject to the sufferings, suffering that they experience, like at the time of death, and the suffering of waging war, with other gods and so forth, and so therefore the person see that the only way to free oneself, so is by the liberating, by achieving the liberation from all this, the cycle of rebirth, or the what we call as a cyclic existence, or the worldly or the suffering existence. So therefore the person of middle scope, then the seek or to follow the Dharma or the spiritual practice, with the intention, with the motivation to or the mental scope of achieving the state of liberations from worldly existence.
Ane dene shewu chenpi gu samba singi de karisena. Ta ane seche ngarang ane shewa tela thuma mandu, shewa riri la ama riri na gugundu. Teni za ane seche ndazo ni ama she manyungwa tani yesa mares. Teni za tani ndazo kanga ngal shinda tri chenpo jire desha. Teni za tanda ngarang jipo ya tawa atombato tando dena nga ane chemen ragoshi. Ane ngoca mengen ragoshi chon ragote. Teni za ane di nye korong zi ta che ta ane suji ji gombo ji topa so tani korong zo ya ane suji ji gombo la ya choko nyambi ane tenji ji ga lo la ane shewu chenbi ga somba se o tani shi ga res.
And then the last person, which is called the person of great scope, so who even see that achieving the state of liberations from this worldly existence for oneself is not sufficient. So in fact, it see achieving such liberation for achieving such self-liberation is a very the selfish, a selfish goal, and see that as a very, the seeking such goal is a very, the ungrateful to all the other sentient beings, and it will be not right to just to seek these self-liberations, because these persons, the person of the great scopes, then understand or they have a sense of compassion and sense of the responsibilities, feel the sense of responsibility of freeing all other sentient beings, and based on the fact that there is no single beings who hasn't been kind, who you are highly indebted for receiving the kindness and support from them, as for example, as you are serving as your mother. So they see every even they don't see any single sentient being who has never been served as one's own mothers. So based on the reason that how, if you look at your own life, the continuum of the life, your life's life stream, and then it becomes like the beginningless, in the sense that if you think of trace the past life, then your current life comes from the life before that, and then one that the previous life come from the before that. So in this way, it goes infinite, endless. And then, just as how for this life, how you you owe to your parents or your mother for giving you birth and showing one all the cares, the kindness, and that's how you have this life because of the kindness of the other, your mother. So in the same way, so they see the kindness of all other sentient beings, and so therefore they seek, instead of seeking these self-liberations, so these person of great scope, person of great mental capacities, then aspire to achieve complete enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings.
다시 우선제 성바데 드는데 와신 연습도 그랬어요. 근데 지선도 선대와 맞지. 이제 마트 있다는 미들이 못하라. 도와지 하고서요.
치워봐. 치워질래. So we'll leave the teaching, tonight teaching here, and continue this same topic in next week. So if you have a question, please feel welcome. If you have any question, yeah.
Do Buddhas experience pain?
Buddha experienced pain. Yeah.
Do they experience pain?
Sangel di yorwes or tachi dungesu nato taete di yorwes. Yeah. No, Buddha's free from all pain and suffering.
So there's no pain of old age, so no knee pain.
Yeah.
Pain of old age?
Yeah.
Yeah, then it is your gave dungesu.
Yeah, maris. The jetto che ponsarwa.
No.
Yeah. Gave it the
Buddha has removed the overcome or abandon the sufferings. Together with the root cause, all the root cause and all the causes of the sufferings. So no, even there's no Buddha doesn't go through the suffering of aging. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're talking about people remembering past lives,
Yeah.
and there are stories about it in books. And usually the past life they remember is another human life.
Yeah.
I've never read about a person remembering a life as a dog or a crocodile or a frog.
또 남주 때 개왕어만 지 리과도 지 잡았어요. 개왕어만 쟁에들 되게다 루유다들 막 올라와. 네 루기들 막 올라오뇨스. 망체 엄마 개왕어만 미 요들이 시다르셔스. 근데 지 개왕어만 지 들어진데 요들이 제 통마서 사면. 자 쟁에들 열어. 지 소소 심진다고 되는데.
대체 녀우치 통만이지.
와.
녀우치 통만이 스페셜로. 이나 템바 쫀데 그 시라노를 못 보여레스.
와.
드니그 로지. 아니 가르스나 템바 쫀데 디카슬은 치식 시와래 저는데 그만에 만 먹시와래
주시노.
아니 드니그 아니 로지 못 보여레스. 맞아. 니가 단다 시야로와 드니그 잔디 존에 봐 드니그 토마소스.
Geshe said, no, he hasn't found any books which people record story, about their past life as some animals or other species. He hasn't come. But if we find in the life story, past life stories of the Buddhas, and then there are many stories which the shows where says in which the Buddha says when in the past when I was born as a bird or any this and that. Yeah, it's a lot of those.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Much better.
Yeah.
How would you describe what it is that reincarnates?
How do you?
What reincarnates, if not a soul?
What's that?
What is it that reincarnates?
What is the reincarnation?
What is it that reincarnates? If it's not a soul,
Yeah.
What is it that
Yeah.
reincarnates?
다 이 개와 치마시 개와 렌스와 개와 랭에도 가르래 쓰겠다. 그래서 건조다니 시아바르에 강사 가르려고 나서
다 시파티가 지한테 놓고 뒤 차차차라니 고조한테 놓고 그래서 될 때문에 고조한테 니 시파테 니 페나 말시에서나 미그ズポン 레인 거와 스포텔라테네 텔라 뭐 세네치타샤 거와 와 디찰라니 지가 생기래 거 될 때는 떠져 고조 생겼다 다 드니 파피몬디 팔레파 떠봐 좀 되더와
So what we call for that person is all a bit relative, you know. We are human. So, but what goes from to the future life, to the reincarnate, is the continuum of our consciousness, our mind. The continuum, the mental stream, mind stream or the consciousness goes there. So we said if the consciousness, when it conceived into the a person, a human being, and then we call that's a human. If that consciousness, conceived into some other form of life, then it becomes other life. Yeah.
무슨 비치동 구조 생에때 핀봉하고 고르라 때는 바다산 주시래 돼요. 그래서와 아니 대노지 무생에때 미 핀봉하고 고르라 때는 바다산 주시래요. 그래서 집바라고 딱 간가라.
So we normally describe a person, when you say a person, as a being who is something which is labeled on the collections, of the aggregates. There's any of the five aggregates. There's 5 aggregates, like the form aggregates, feeling and consciousness and so on. So what is a person? What is person is just the something labeled on that the combination of any of those 5 aggregates. So if those 5 aggregates are the aggregates of the human, human aggregates, human form, human mind, human feeling, so on, then we label as a human being.
penangando chachawana ni nga kuzoris kuzota kawa nga kago desena ni lapa do ngingo do ngi kumba do kangapa chi chechewe nga nyeyo maresro tinza to supal pa tin ta sha mares so yo resro yo
the Buddhist idea is that like everything exists, but only exists by like the mental the imputation of mental projections labeled, right? So for example, if you say if I'm a person and I've got these the aggregates, my form, feeling, so on, and I'm a person, this person which is labeled on that, and then if you look for that person, then see whether my hand is that person or my head, leg. If you keep looking, then none of them is. We can say that is we cannot find that identified something as a person's. So therefore, what the person is just something label, merely label, but does exist. Doesn't mean that person doesn't exist. But how it exists is just as a mere label on this the collection or any of these 5 aggregates. Yeah, so all the exists just relatively, nominally, and then we cannot. If you to saying that it do not exist, then we're falling into the extreme of nihilisms. Person does exist, and also there's the function. I'm a person, and I function as a person. But how I am person is just by label, simply labeled as or designated as persons.
Yeah. Okay.
Dedication, page 11.